Well, grand evening. We're going to call it good evening, everybody. This is Mystical Ariel here to shake the matrix, expand our minds, and make us all think. How are you all doing this grand evening? It is 6 p.m., a different time than what we normally do our teachings at, but you know what? I had to go and do some things today. It helped. We're driving a couple people down to go get some things for their donations, so we have two separate situations over here. We got a young man who lost his home and rig to a fire, and it was a gas leak. And then we had, just give me a second here. Um, and then we had another young lady who had lost her home and everything as well to some theft and a whole bunch of other situations. So they're both here. Absolutely lost all their entire everything. So we've been running them around because this amazing community where we're at, people have been coming together, donating some of the things that they need to survive where we're at. So that's good. And then, of course, we have our community just kind of supporting them and helping them get established, what they need to do to help themselves have solid footing. So they definitely both need new homes, which for them is rigs. They can be easily converted into homes or are already. So that's what we're doing. So if any of you guys feel led, share this to people you know, get it out there. And we have a post box, and I will be putting it up. Well, I won't be just putting it up, but I mean, if you want it, you can get a hold of me, PM me, get a hold of me through leaving a message on here, and we'll figure some things out. But all right, so let's get started. It's probably going to be different than what we normally have because we're not in the morning and no one's used to me being on at this time. So everybody will get to watch it later and they'll discover that it's there. So this is for the chosen ones. All right. This is very important for you guys to listen. So those of you who've been awakened, you see the truth of your original design. You're realizing we've been locked in this simulation, holographic simulation, all these things. And you're ready for the other half of the truth of our existence. So you've walked through lifetimes, okay? So listen closely. You ancient ones, you whose souls carry the weight of 1,000 incarnations. You who have been burned at the stake, drowned in rivers, silenced in temples, exiled to deserts. You who returned again and again and again and again into the densest levels of this simulation. Knowing full well the suffering that awaited you. And you still chose to come back. So thank you. Reincarnation research by Dr. Ian Stevenson actually documented over 3,000 verifiable cases of children recalling past lives, complete with birthmarks and everything. Mirroring fatal wounds from prior incarnations, science, once blind to spirit, is now catching up finally to what has already been known in your bones. This is not the first time here, you know? The Tibetan book of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Egyptian book of the Coming Forth by Day, the Orphic mysteries of Greece, all whisper the same cosmic truth. Souls choose to return. They volunteer to descend into matter for sacred purpose. The Bodhisattva vow, the avatar descension, the Christ consciousness, incarnation, you are these ones, all right? And the Gnostics texts reveal archons, those rulers of the false reality, the ones who sought to entrap divine sparks in the cycles of forgetting. But they did not foresee those who would remember. Those who, no matter how many times they were beaten down, they would hold memory of light within. And the ones in the trenches of the prison system, you have been warriors in the wars you don't even consciously remember. You have held the line in battles that exist beyond the veil of ordinary perception. The epigenetics research now shows that trauma and resilience are written in our DNA, passed through generations like echoes of memory. And your cells tell the story of survival. You are not broken, you are forged. And the ancient essence text spoke of the sons of light, the incarnated in times of darkness. The Hapi told of the true white brother. The Maya told of the Akin, the solar priest who hold cosmic knowledge. And why were you given the heaviest fucking tools, the most traumatic paths? Because only diamonds cut diamonds. And diamonds are forged out of pressure and intensity. Only those who have entered the deepest, the darkest, can carry the brightest light and the most intense light, and without being consumed. You were handed recipes to become the worst, most intense people, and you didn't. Kindness remained steadfast, no matter what. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search of Meaning, said, when we no longer are able to change a situation, we are challenged to change. We're challenged to change ourselves, and you did. You did it. You transmuted pain into wisdom, trauma into compassion, chaos into creation. And over again through many lifetimes. And somehow, no matter what's been done to you, kindness remains. The Buddhist concept of the samsara, the wheel of birth and death, has been your classroom. But unlike the lost, ones who spin unaware, you returned as volunteers. You are not victims. You knew. You knew this was going to be shit. But you knew what the end result was. And you didn't give a fuck. Because you're warriors. You know the truth. Near-death research by Dr. Raymond Moody shows many were offered the choice to remain. I'm one of them. In this light or return. Or finish their mission. Finish what they said yes to. Return to expired bodies. They knew that they were suffering. But they were going to walk anyway. As a person shed worn-out garments and wears new ones, likewise the soul casts off its worn-out body and enters a new one. Some of us chose to return to these ones. You have worn many bodies, though, and you've lived many lives, and each time you carried forward the memory of essence, the light bearer, the truth holder. The rest of the world gets offended the moment you speak. And you sit there puzzled going, it's common sense though, guys. Because you've been moving in a prison system with the truth. And no one wants to know that they're locked up. They're an illusion of this is life. You faced intense, traumatic circumstances. You endured what breaks most souls: abuse, abandonment, betrayal, illness, persecution. 8 studies revealed trauma alters the brain structure, immune response, and even lifespans. Yet you defied every projection statistically made to make you break. You should not be standing here, but yet you are. You became a healer, a teacher, a light bearer, proof of divine anomaly. The light in you could not be extinguished no matter what this world handed you. And hello, Beth Westover, and living the dreams with Alex. How's it going? Good to see you. So you're the ones that stayed true to the truth of your being. Through every trial, you held on to something deeper than belief. It was knowing. The Gnostics text, Thunder, Perfect Mind, says, I am the first, the last I am. The honored one and the scorned one. And the paradox of wholeness becomes your temple. Psychologically, most humans avoid paradox. Do you understand that? Cognitive dissonance forces them to bend truth, to comfort others, to be the feather, that makes people feel good. But you chose not to. You held paradox like a sword of light. You embodied the tension that transforms illusions into wisdom. You became the philosopher warrior, the mystic scientist, the alchemist of reality. And no matter how hard the world kicked you down, heck, this world kicked me down so much, I got broken neck, broken back. I'm supposed to be paralyzed from the neck down with a trachea breathing for me. I got oxygen tanks in my vehicle, and which can't move right now. Hopefully we get a mechanic figured out soon. Which it don't matter. I have to wait till I can figure out finances for it. But anyway, thing is this. I walk into hospitals, if they dare see my damn MRIs or reports, they're prepared for me to be in a wheelchair and trach, and all I walk in was with my service dog. That's it. They don't know what to do. But I walk and stuff. There's things I can't do for sure. Try to explain that with people when you look like you're built like a tank. I mean, I am. Don't make me mad. I'll make you move many miles away, but I hurt for days after. I shouldn't say I hurt. This body, this suit hurts sometimes and it has to rest for days. I'm in an expired suit. So the world tried to break you and you got back up just like me and everyone else. We just said, no. I am one of the conspiracy children. One kidnapped, taken to another country, experimented on. I was in a glass cage in a hospital most of my life. The stitch was done to me. And it still didn't break me. Like everything you can think of done. I went, nah, I'm going to be Grace. I don't know why. I don't know how. Because I had it in me to destroy if I wanted to. But I didn't. It took more power within me to not. Do you understand the kindness that you held? How much that took within you to continue to be the opposite of what this world is programmed to be? You got back up. So fuck this. Muhammad Ali said, the man who has no imagination has no wings. You imagined something greater than your circumstances, and that imagination was creation itself. Do you understand? I know many of you, with the trauma you had an imagination that you would have, and you would pretend that was your world, and this was just something else. You did. Every one of us did. It's how we made it through. But you know what? That's made you survive. You learned how to hold creation. And you gave yourself a safe place to sit, even when everything around you wasn't safe. But still you held on to kindness. Against all odds. You kept your heart open. Neuroplasticity research shows prolonged trauma should harden empathy centers and amplify fear responses, and yet that's not what you got. You somehow chose love. Yeshua on the cross, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Buddha, beneath the tree, compassion for all. You remember when you were kids, you'd be looking at that person doing that, and you're like, if I just stare long enough, they'll see love in my eyes and stop. How many of you, that was real? Make a comment if you remember those moments. You know, the Dalai Lama exiled, still laughing. This is not fragility, it is mastery beyond. For the tale says, the softest thing overcomes the hardest. You are kind because you remember that you are love itself. So no matter the intensity you endured, you walked through the dark night of the soul. When God feels absence and identity dissolves, this is not mental illness. It is metamorphosis. The caterpillar cannot know it's becoming a butterfly. It only knows it is dissolving. And yet, every cell remembers the blueprint of light and flight. You know, witnesses, you probably had counselors, teachers, people in your life that said they couldn't have held on. They would have jumped. Because they weren't designed to anchor light as you were. The Kabbalistic lane, Vakviniks, the 36 hidden righteous ones, hold the world's balance in secret, and they don't even know that they do. You are that lineage. Even science observes this principle. You can see it. In energy theory, a single stable node can restore balance to a chaotic system. You are that stabilizing force. That's why so many times you'd be like, I just got to go sit up on this mountain alone. I just got to go away from people. I'm going to go sit by this river. I'm going to go sit by this waterfall. And you just sit there alone. You know what you were doing? You were affecting the entire simulation. Why do you think it held and threw everything it could at you? No prison system wants its walls broken. You're Neo. You held the frequencies that centered the world's collapse. Do you understand that? Without you, this world would not exist. It would collapse. It has to have a balance. So the world was like, no. Yeah, I know counselors used to ask me, like, how do you still breathe? Your files defy medical logic. Trauma should have led collapse, addiction, psychosis, but instead growth. You found yourself. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk calls it post-traumatic growth. Instead of post-traumatic stress, it's growth. Yet even he admitted that some people transcend explanations because your resilience is not biologically the same. It's a metaphysical one. The middle of the woods and the air and tranquility speaks volumes for me, but also helps me sort my thoughts. 100%. Same here. It's where I used to always run, even as a little child. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your outer suffering could not touch you. It couldn't touch your inner essence, period. Do you understand that? It didn't touch you. Do you get it? You're not a victim. You kicked the game's ass. I mean, you went up against the big bosses and 20 of them at the same time, and you kicked all their asses. No, Gospel Thomas talks about if you bring forth what is within you, it will save you. And you did. You did it. You are the galactic warriors of the universe. You are entering a place of rest, though, now, because you've been working so hard. And now the earth is going to do what it's going to do. You're in a place of peace. You don't have to have fear. You don't have to worry. You know You did the hard work already. You already went through the shit. And after lifetimes of battle, the cosmic jubilee has actually fucking arrived. Debts forgiven, energies balanced, souls restored, even biology honors rest, and the circadian cycle demands renewal for repair. The universe even insists on rest. After fire seeds germinate, after wilderness, the promised land, after the desert, the ministry, you have completed your wandering. You have been moving mountains in the realms already. And while your body slept, your spirit worked its ass off. Quantum field theory confirms consciousness exists beyond space-time. The CIA's Gateway document mapped this. The same truth, awareness operates multidimensionally. And you are that awareness. You too, that's right. Me in the middle of the, right? This is why you are exhausted when you wake up sometimes. You have been waging wars and building worlds unseen. You know, this is why sometimes you guys ever wake up and you got a bruise and you're like, I did not have that yesterday. Or some weird mark and then it just disappears, or some red thing or whatever. And then all of a sudden throughout the day you go to look and it's gone. Makes no sense. That's because that came from the other realm. You brought it back with you into this body. The world will shake, but you will remain in peace and calm and safe. You will be covered. Prophecies converge, Hopi, Hindu, Mayan, Christian, indigenous, all foretelling purification. And now even science echoes earthquakes rising, ecosystems collapsing, societal fracturing, the assimilation, destabilizes. But you will remain unharmed because your vibration is coherence amidst chaos. Psalm 91 describes vibrational immunity. It will not come near your tent. That's physics, frequency, consciousness, coherence. It touches for you. Know who you are. The veil thins, memory returns. Neuroscience of meditation shows activation of a pineal gland, the inner eye, producing transcendent states. This is gnosis, the remembering, the amnesia of divine identity. You are awakening as the I am. You are not merely in the light, you are the light, seeing itself. It is a season of the roar, so spread your wings and blow your trumpets, because the lion roars not in rage, but in declaration. I am here. Sematics proves sound creates matter. Your roar recognizes reality. The eagle spreads its wings to the ride, the thermals. You've climbed through storms. Now it's your soars. You get to soar now. The trumpet, like the shofar, announces the awakening. This is your appointed time. You no longer have to apologize for your power. Now it's needed. The lotus never apologizes for blooming in the mud. Ring the fucking bells. The doors have opened. Bells mark transition. In temples, meditation halls, and heavens alike, the frequencies of freedom resound through creation. Quantum physics calls it resonance alignment. And when your vibration meets divine frequencies, doors open without kicking or knocking. You have reached that vibration. Do you understand that? You've been placed exactly where you are meant to be. Don't run. Not by chance, but by orchestration. I'm sorry it's been hard getting there for some of us that run. Carl Jung, apparently cat's got my tongue again, call it synchronicity, meaning full alignment of events beyond logic. The Tao says she lets the Tao speak for itself. You are the living Tao now. It's no longer the season of worry. Worry is the future. Illusion. Fuck that shit. Peace is present knowing. That's why I sit out here without my rig being able to go anywhere. And I go, well, I got an e-bike. I just need a trailer so I can bring my service dog everywhere with me that hooks on the back of my bike. And I'm sure that's going to figure itself out too. In the meantime, I made a commitment to help whoever needed help in between until my situation worked out. But knowing me, I always keep helping. It just keeps going. But Yeshua taught, do not worry about tomorrow. The Bhagavad Gita echoed, do your work, but release the outcome. This is quantum physics, quantum surrender. This is your season of trust. This is your time of flowering, time of beauty. Do you understand that this simulation, physics, philosophers, and mystics converge here? We are the simulation, a holographic, quantumly rendered field of consciousness. And Dr. James Gates found computer code woven into string theory. Equation quantum mechanics shows particles appear only when observed. Remember what we're observing. And Gnostics told us that the Demiurge dream. Hindus call it Lila, the divine play. This world is a code, but consciousness is the coder, and you are that consciousness. If it codes, you can reprogram it, right? If it is an illusion, you can awaken within it, right? If it is a dream, you can lucidly create, right? So you are not the character, you are the dreamer. You are not the program, you are the source. So remember, breathe, the breath, the Rash, Pneuma, Prana, Chi, the bridge between spirit and matter. And God breathed into man's nostrils in the breath of life. That's breath. Inhale, exhale. Breath has never ceased. It still flows through you now. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, you remember. Exhale, you create. This is the divine sacred interface of I am, which is what you are. The divine algorithm of existence. Breathe and awaken. Simple. Just like that. Do you remember? And you know what? You don't need to go find your tribe. It's coming to you in divine order. And sometimes it's through situations of being stuck. Well, guys, make sure you always do one thing towards your dreams. Brings one day closer. Make sure you recognize that you are valuable and you matter. You are those unique puzzle pieces, a part of the ultimate puzzle of the cosmos. You are that cosmos. I got to get out there and go start cooking dinner for these guys because they were so great. We've been running around all day. And they gave me some time to just kind of chill a little bit before I had to teach, so I didn't have to cook dinner first. So you out there, go cook some dinner for these guys because I'm sure they're really hungry now. Well, I am love. I don't need to go looking for love. We are love. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Much love. Peace and love, you guys. We'll see you. We won't see you tomorrow. You know what I'm going to be doing from now on? I'm going to be teaching Monday to Thursday. And from here on out, getting Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do my other things. All right? So we'll see you guys Monday. Peace and love. See you next time.